This is ABC7 News at 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Cohn reporting live from the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa, and welcome to ABC7 at 7. Topping our news tonight, for the last 3 weeks, ever since he made those comments about the parents of a fallen Iraq War veteran, Donald Trump has not been doing many interviews with anyone other than the friendly Fox News channel. Well, that changed today when Donald Trump talked to us. There were a number of topics, including his calls for a special prosecutor in the case of the Clinton Foundation, which I reminded him he donated $100,000 to.
When these countries go in, they're not going in to say, how are you feeling today, Madam Secretary? They're going in because they want something. So now you're going to see what came out of those various meetings. And it's not going to be good for her, because a lot of things came out of those meetings.
Donald Trump was here in Tampa today because Florida and the Tampa Bay area, which includes Sarasota, is oh so crucial to his chances of winning this state and winning this presidential race. We'll have the full interview with Donald Trump coming up in just a few minutes. But for now, Ray Collins has news headlines back in the studio. Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, Alan. Looking forward to the interview. Weather is topping the news tonight. A broad area of low pressure is causing some serious concern. Details from our chief meteorologist now, Bob Harrigan. Bob?
Yeah, there's a lot going on with this system, but right now there's no real definitive answer as to how it's going to have an impact on our weather, say Sunday through early next week. Right now the system is poorly defined, poorly really organized at this time. We have a mid-level low still spinning southeast of San Juan and what appears to be a surface low pressure system just to the northeast, so it's not stacked very well. We'll talk more about that in a bit. We have some showers and storms racing through parts of the Suncoast today. A strong easterly wind has not allowed that sea breeze to develop, so there's not much convergence set up, so the storms aren't nearly as strong as they were yesterday, but we'll keep an eye on this one as it makes its way to the southwest at around 15 miles an hour. It just popped up within the last half hour there, so the forecast basically through this evening for scattered showers. Well, reconnaissance aircraft was investigating this area earlier this afternoon, and it did find a wind at least flight level at 63 miles an hour. That does translate to a tropical storm force wind, but it was well away from what appears to be the center, which is right here, a low-level circulation continuing to spin just to the north of San Juan. And the forecast, this is now an 80% chance, a 60% chance over the next 2 days of developing. So that's increased too significantly by the National Hurricane Center. And then look at the spread. It continues to be well to the east of the state, but more so now bending toward Florida. A lot of the models suggesting anywhere along the eastern portion of the Gulf of Mexico, which would be not the best solution for us. And the European model is suggesting something like this, but that's been flip-flopping back and forth. So you really can't rely on this model. Just know that we have a system that is to the southeast of it, it's moving to the northwest. There's a chance it will have an impact on our weather, as I mentioned, Sunday through early next week, so we have to watch it closely. How much of an impact, it still remains unknown at this point until we find a definite center. And once that happens, the models will come in more of agreement as to where it may be heading and how strong it may be. So we'll keep an eye out for you. We'll have an update at 11. 91 in Tallahassee, 86 now in Orlando. Temperatures where it's rained, cooler, 78 in Arcadia, Lake Placid, 78. Water temperature still very warm at 87 degrees. Now, here's the 7-day forecast. It calls for showers and storms scattered about, typical for summer. Through Saturday, and then it'll start to be a bit breezy as the system gets closer to us. It could turn windy depending upon what happens, Ray. Really, we'll watch the tropics very closely. Friday we'll have a better answer as to where it may be heading, and then Monday and Tuesday could be the toughest days for us. We'll keep you up to date.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Bob. On to the news now. Dredging Big Pass to re-nourish Lido Key Beach remains on hold. It's a tense debate. Lido says dredging is essential to preventing further beach erosion. But Siesta Key residents say dredging the pass could throw off the entire current and ruin their flowery white sand.
It needs to be done, and we're not against Siesta Key, but we're not getting a fair shake at this.
This was 1.2 million cubic yards, so it's too much sand, and you don't know the effects.
Sarasota County Commission is asking the Army Corps of Engineers to perform another environmental study, which would delay the project even more. A little farther north, Longboat Key voters will decide the fate of a new hotel planned for the Key on Tuesday. And it's become a polarizing issue there. Residents have placed signs along Gulf of Mexico Drive to oppose the hotel, but local business owners say a new hotel could help bring more tourists to Longboat Key. One charter captain hopes to encourage more communication between developers and opponents.
I want people to make an educated decision on what they know, not on what they see on the side of the road on a sign. Okay, because the way it's been put out there is a traffic situation, but that's not the only, issue.
Well, the vote is Tuesday, part of the Florida primary. You can find more information about a meeting with the developer on our website at mysuncoast.com. When we come back, Alan Cohn talks one-on-one with Donald Trump. We'll have his full interview, plus our roundtable discussion about Trump's chances in Florida. Stay with us.
Download ABC7's free all-new news app at your app store today.
Welcome to the all-new Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice.
Seymour smiles.
Seymour selection of quality new and pre-owned vehicles.
Seymour for your trade-in.
Seymour savings.
Discover the new Buick and get cash back for up to 16% of the MSRP on select 2016 Buick vehicles. That's nearly $8,000 cash back on this Buick LaCrosse.
Seymour now at Seymour Buick GMC on the island of Venice. Go to SeymourBuickGMC.com.
Don't miss the Weddings of Sarasota 16th Annual Wedding Show at the iconic Sarasota Municipal Auditorium on US 41, Sunday, August 28th from noon to 4 p.m. The runway show is on the stage at 3 p.m. Enjoy hors d'oeuvres and live entertainment. $2,000 in Weddings of Sarasota dollars will be given away after the runway show, but you must be present to win. Make sure to pre-register at WeddingsofSarasota.com. Brides and grooms are free if registered by midnight, August 26th. Guests only $5. Weddings of Sarasota. Register today.
A message from the Pulaski Law Firm. You started there right out of high school, learned your trade and did it well. And the asbestos you handled, well, that was just part of the job. If you worked in the trades and were diagnosed with mesothelioma, get the best care available, then call us. You may be entitled to financial compensation without ever going to court.
Call 800-236-4994
and see how we can help. Mesothelioma, don't fight it alone.
And joining us is the Republican nominee for President, Donald Trump. Mr. Trump, welcome back to Florida.
Thank you very much.
Let me ask you about something that's really in the news around here. Zika, 42 cases throughout the state, the latest just a few miles away from here. The president has asked $1.9 billion in Zika funding. Marco Rubio, many Republicans in Congress from Florida want that. But Paul Ryan has not had a vote on that $1.9 billion. It's becoming a health crisis here. Would you be willing to call Speaker Ryan and saying, come back from break, vote on this now because Florida's in crisis? It might be, as you would say, huge.
Well, it is very important. And your governor, by the way, Rick Scott's doing an incredible job. He is out there working 24 hours a day, 28 hours a day, frankly. I've never seen anything like it. He just doesn't stop. And it's a very tough fight because nobody really knows where it's coming from, as you understand, and nobody knows if anything works. But he's out there fighting, and I think he's making the situation a lot better than it would have been otherwise.
Congress hasn't done it.
No, we have to do that, and we have to allocate a lot of money and a lot of funds coming to Florida and to other places to fight it. And I would certainly be willing to get involved. If I were president, I can guarantee you it would be a lot different.
Call Speaker Ryan.
I will do that, yeah. I have no problem with doing that.
I know that you were calling for a special prosecutor in the Clinton Foundation case. You gave $100,000 yourself to the Clinton Foundation. When you did so, did you expect any special favor from them?
Well, people asked me to do it, and frankly, I did it because you always got treated very well. And as a businessman, I say it, I was the one that openly said I gave money, and a lot of people that I know gave money. And I guess they probably get treated very well. Who knows? But I can say this, it's a disgrace when you look at the people that go and see state. They go into Department of State. When she was Secretary of State, it just seemed that most of those people gave a lot of money and the access. And now we're looking at seeing who got what for the money. In other words, when Bahrain goes in and when these countries go in, they're not going in to say, how are you feeling today, Madam Secretary? They're going in because they want something. So now you're going to see what came out of those various meetings. And it's not going to be good for her because a lot of things came out of those meetings.
But is there any evidence yet of illegality?
Oh, I think there will be very soon. But look, when they went in, these are players, I know a lot of these players. These are players that aren't talking about the weather. These are players that are going in because they want something for themselves or for a company that maybe they own or for a country.
One more question. You have this week spoken a lot and tried to reach out to the African American community. Big African American community here in Tampa Bay, in Tallahassee, in Miami. Obviously, the polling shows that you have a lot of work to do there. And when we talk to folks, they're saying, you know, I know that you're saying that you can improve their community, but some of them are still angry that you accuse President Obama of not being from this country.
Let me explain something to you. The African American community has been amazing over the last couple of weeks. The poll numbers have been great. Florida Atlantic just came out with an overall poll where I'm leading Florida, as you know, by 2 points. I'm beating Hillary Clinton by 2 points. And you know, they're tired of all the corruption, they're tired of all the emails, they're tired of her doing nothing. And she's done nothing for the African community or the Hispanic community. The levels of poverty have never been greater. The educational process has been a disaster. People are being shot in the streets. I mean, and I tell African Americans and Latinos, I say, you vote for me, it won't be that way. We're going to fix the education system. We're going to create housing. We're going to raise, I mean, you look at the levels of poverty if you're African American, 40%, it's horrible. We're going to solve these problems. And I say, if they give me a chance, they're going to be so happy with the result. And the truth is, Hillary Clinton has been there for 30 years. She's done nothing. All she does is get their vote and then wave goodbye to them the next day. And that would happen again. On November 9th, she would say, thanks a lot, suckers, goodbye. I'm going to fix the problem. They haven't fixed the problem. They will never fix the problem. You know, you've had Democratic leadership for 30, 40, 50 years, in some cases 100 years in some of the inner cities. They never fix the problem. I'll fix the problem. So I say to the African American voter and the Latino voter or Hispanic, and I have so many, by the way, owning Doral and owning other jobs down here, I have so many Hispanic workers. They're unbelievable people, including executives. I say, if they give me a chance, I will fix the problem. And I actually say, what do they have to lose? It can't get any worse. What it is right now is so bad. They have been treated, African Americans, Hispanics have been treated so badly by Hillary Clinton and by the Democrats. I will do a great job.
Last week you spoke about regrets, the birth of stuff. Do you regret that today?
I said regret, and you know, I'm on to a new, but you know, I'd like to make everybody happy, frankly. But a lot of people like the fact that I speak my mind, and I guess that's maybe why I'm doing well in the polls, and that's maybe why I'm here. A lot of people like the fact that I speak my mind, but you know, we're onto a chapter that's been very exciting. I mean, the polls come out just this morning about Florida. Other polls have come out that are very good. People are sick and tired of corruption. They're sick and tired of Hillary Clinton for years and years. No matter where, you can go to Whitewater, you can go all the way back. I mean, her husband was impeached because he was lying. He was impeached, and they took away his law, his right to practice law. I mean, no matter where they go, it's the same thing. And if she got elected, it would be 4 more years of Obama, and that means ISIS all over the place. That means attacks all over the place. I think people are tired of it, frankly, and I think that's why I have a crowd right outside that I'm going to speak to now that's thousands and thousands of people. They haven't seen anything like it. We broke the record today. So it's been a very interesting experience. And, you know, bottom line, we're going to make America great again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very
Trump.
much. Appreciate it.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
It's Lincoln's summer sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKZ for only $299 per month, or a 2016 Lincoln MKX, Lincoln's premium sports utility vehicle, for $339 per month. We also have a great selection of certified pre-owned vehicles. Drive with the confidence of a 6-year, 100,000-mile comprehensive warranty and complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, family owned and operated, and winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Just because someone grows older, does that mean they have to grow apart from their friends or from the things they love to do? With Right at Home, it doesn't. Right at Home's professional team thoughtfully selects caregivers to help with personal care, housekeeping, meals, and most of all, staying engaged. in life.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I sure am.
We can provide the right care right at home.
People ask me all the time, George, what do I do with my idea for a new product? I tell them, call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been providing patent referrals, preparing ideas, and submitting to companies for more than 30 years.
I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
For your free inventors information, call 1-800-881-6805.
And welcome back, everyone. Joining us for our roundtable tonight is Karen Giano, the chief strategist for the Trump campaign here in Florida, and Zach Anderson, the political reporter for the Herald. We just wrapped up Donald Trump's latest event here in Tampa. And Karen, if you could tell us a little bit about the strategy right now. I believe Mr. Trump is going to be in Florida at least once a week from now until the election.
We will absolutely have him here on a regular basis, as well as some of high-powered surrogates and Governor Pence. So Florida is a very, very important state. It's a must-win state. It's the largest swing state in the nation. And right now we have a wonderfully powerful program going on the grassroots level that we kicked off today with our RV #1, which will go through the I-4 corridor.
Voter registration.
Pretty much voter registration through September 10th, and then it will switch to actually doing activities and events to help with absentee ballots and then the GOTV.
I remember you telling us at the convention in Cleveland that as soon as you got back here, there would be field offices opening all around Florida. I hear that is still coming, but it has not happened yet.
Right.
And meanwhile, the Clinton campaign is really out there with its ground game, and I believe they have 14 or 15 field offices around the state.
Well, I would challenge that statement just to say that just because you have field offices doesn't necessarily mean you have a ground game. We have the RVs ready to go. We're actually taking this grassroots movement out into the neighborhoods, into the communities. There's two ways to look at this. The first is the level of enthusiasm through the record numbers of rallies. Every single person who comes to a rally is like a door knock to us, but we're not going to stop there. So we're outpacing the Democrats with voter registrations for over 67, just about 67,000. So it's just under 70,000. Remember, Barack Obama only won this state by 73,000 votes. So we're outpacing the Democrats right now. Here's what we're going to do. We're going into each community, 67 counties. Most people look at 10 counties as win counties. We're looking at all 67 counties. So we'll have 25 field offices up and running by Labor Day, but that's not where bricks and mortar do not make a campaign.
Zach, you are a great observer of all things political. What are your thoughts about what you saw here today in terms of the size of the crowd, comparing it to other Trump events and Hillary events in the last few weeks?
It's definitely not as big of a crowd as you've seen at some other Trump events. Of course, it is a midday, workday event. So I think, the room was about half full. So it wasn't as big as some of the stuff that you saw during the GOP primary or events that he's held on a Saturday or in an evening. But, it was still a fairly enthusiastic crowd. It was interesting to see him really stay on message. The last time he was in Tampa, he really actually went after his Republican critics almost as much as he went after Hillary Clinton, it seemed like. Last time he was in Florida, he was still talking about, he was still reeling a little bit from his feud with this Muslim family of a fallen soldier. So today he really kept his sights focused on Hillary Clinton. He went after her over, her emails and the FBI investigation, over her tax policy, over everything. He just wove his critique of Hillary Clinton throughout the hour-long speech, even questioned her stamina at one point. So he was pretty on message. It looked like he was reading from a teleprompter for most of the speech, so it seemed like a more disciplined candidate who was really focused on going after his Democratic opponent.
Karen, what about that? Because yes, the prompter was up there, and he wasn't, let's say, freelancing as much as he has done in the past. What has gone into getting Donald Trump to stick to a message and not going off script?
Well, I was just telling Zach that he actually went off script a couple times today. I think he's a very organic candidate. He's very honest.
That's affected him really in the polling since the conventions.
Well, I will say this. I think people are looking for an authentic candidate. That's who he is. I do not think that a voter is looking for somebody who is totally scripted. That we do want to keep him on message because there's a lot to be said. And in order to get it all out in 1 hour where he's addressing not only a crowd of individuals at the fairgrounds, let's say, but he's also talking to the entire Tampa Bay area. So, and beyond that. So in order to reach the majority of voters, we have to make sure that the message is strong, it's powerful, and it resonates.
Zach, what feeling do you get from voters around the Suncoast right now? Because they see these polls, they know that it's a real uphill roll around the country, and even in Florida, the polls did not look good. Have the true Trump supporters kind of resigned themselves, or do you feel that there's a lot of fight in them?
Well, I interviewed half a dozen Trump supporters here today, and all of them were still pretty enthusiastic about the candidate. A lot of them kind of question the polls. Some of them say that it's still really early in the campaign. So I don't think that he's lost his hardcore supporters. The question is, the independents, the people that are kind of on the fence, are they leaning more towards Clinton right now? Some of the polls might suggest that, although there was a good poll out for Trump today where he was actually leading Clinton by a couple points here in Florida within the margin of error, though. But the general trend for him over the last few weeks hasn't been great, but I think his support is still pretty strong amongst that hardcore group of folks.
And Karen, let me ask you this. Mr. Trump did an interview with us today, and we appreciate that. Is that a different strategy to get out there with local TV stations and talk directly to voters? Because obviously he has not been doing as many interviews over the last couple of weeks, with the exception of the Fox News channel.
Well, every time he comes to Florida, we do local hits. So I'm not sure where you're getting that from. The interesting thing I want to just mention about with Zach with the polling is that if you look at Hillary Clinton and how much money she spent here in Florida, I would be very, very hard pressed to think that she is not resonating with voters. She spent over $40 million, and we're in the margin of error. We just started spending money here last week.
And we'll have to leave it there. Thank you both for joining us, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
This is important news for women diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Talcum powder may have caused your ovarian cancer. According to many studies, long-term use of talcum powder in products such as baby powder or shower-to-shower for feminine hygiene is linked directly to ovarian cancer. If you are an ovarian cancer victim or if a loved one died from ovarian cancer after using talcum powder, call the law offices of Davis & Crump at the number below right now to find out if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Call now.
This is a special health alert for seniors suffering with joint pain. If you have Medicare insurance, you may qualify for high-quality support braces at little or no cost.
I'm thrilled with my knee braces.
Now, there is a simple and proven solution for seniors to get out of pain with state-of-the-art support braces.
I barely feel any pain at all.
Braces for your knees and back, as well as your shoulders and ankles, too.
I'm so happy with the quality of these braces.
Call now, and you could qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost.
I can play ball again, and it doesn't hurt.
And because of my Medicare coverage, it costs me next to nothing.
So call now.
And Because I have this red, white, and blue Medicare card, my braces have cost me just about nothing.
It's true. You may get a knee, back, shoulder, and ankle brace at little or no cost.
They qualified me for 2 knee braces and a back brace.
If you have knee or back pain, give them a call. They can help.
1-800-476-8967. 1-800-476-8967.
Welcome back. Last night we talked with anti-bullying expert. The state approved new rules that requires all schools to have a policy and procedure for responding to bullying incidents. Here's what you had to say about this. Patricia Lipkovich writes, "My grandson was bullied in school. It led to physical abuse. Our schools have professionals come in to talk to students. Problem is, a lot of kids won't tell on the bully. Parents should be held responsible for their kids." Diana Ray writes, "The anti-bullying laws and rules are useless and rarely enforced. The schools and staff seem to be afraid of the bullies themselves." And Patty Helmuth writes, "How about simply holding the offending parties responsible for their actions? First time it's on the kid, second time it's on the kid and their parents, third time, bye-bye." If you want to comment on tonight's topic, Donald Trump, go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/news at 7. Thanks for watching. I'm Ray Collins. More news tonight at 11.